Hey, what's up everybody? My name is J.R. Gardner. I am the Armory Youth Center Director here at the Armory. I am also the Canon-Mac Campus Life Director. I wanted to give you guys a tour of our facility. If you would come on in, because right now the doors have been closed because nothing is happening here at the Armory. We are standing in the gymnasium of the Armory. Like I said, we are on quarantine, on lockdown, so the doors have been closed for a few weeks now here at the Armory. And so I thought, what better time to give you a tour of the facility. Come on in and go to where the lighting is a little bit better. But we are standing in the gymnasium, which used to be the drill room of the Armory. This building is a historical landmark building. And so a lot of you guys know the rich history of this facility. It's the old National Guard building. This is where soldiers came. This, like I said, was the drilling room. In fact, I have a picture of the very first troop that was sent out from this facility. I got this memorabilia from the Waynesburg Armory building. And this is the first group, if you can see, that was sent out from this facility. I believe for World War II is what they were sent out to. And so there's a lot of history to this building. When we got the building, it had been sitting empty for a number of years. A lot of you probably remember this facility being used for dances or voting in the midst of this being an Armory building. And so I've even heard that this was a place where they housed boxing matches and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff happened out of this facility. We got it was sitting vacant. We were grateful to get it. This building is now owned by my employer, which is Youth for Christ. Youth for Christ is a national organization. It was started back in the 1940s by Billy Graham. Billy Graham was the first full-time employee of Youth for Christ. And so there's another organization with rich history about the same time frame as when this was being built. And so this is the gymnasium. We've done a lot of work to date. We've raised about $800,000, thankfully, from people maybe that are even watching this video, organizations, businesses that have donated to this facility. I could take about 20 minutes and name everyone's name. There's been so many people that have contributed to what we are looking at right now. And so the floor is one of the first things that we did in this facility. We resurfaced this floor, spent a lot of money getting it into the shape that it is right now. And then, replacing the windows was a huge gift to us by a local organization, Specified Doors and Windows, Bill Wilson. And so we put new basketball hoops in as well. And then we did a whole new paint job. There was a ceiling in the facility, and when we took the old ceiling down because it was falling apart, we were able to expose all the natural wood that is up in those rafters. And we thought, man, this looks really cool. And so we just decided to leave the ceiling off. And then when we put a new roof on the building, we insulated through the roof. And so this is now a place where groups can come and play basketball. We've had soccer groups, baseball groups. There's a batting cage in the far room. And if you come out this way and look upstairs, there is a party room as well. That is a place where birthday parties happen. People can rent it out. We use all the money from our rentals to pay all of our bills. And so with the doors closed right now, we're scratching our heads a little bit, but we're still doing all right. Thankful to a lot of generous people in the community. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to head downstairs, but this was the first thing that we did here is renovate this facility, put new electrical in as well. And so the next thing that we did is once we raised the money, and as I stated, we got the building, actually I might not have mentioned it, but September 5th, 2013 is when we got the building. And so we got enough money, we then went downstairs and began to renovate the lower level. There's pretty much two levels to this facility. And so it's an 18,000 square foot building with lots of space. And so lots of cool stuff that we have been able to do. This room right here is our Campus Life room. And so Campus Life is a ministry of Youth for Christ. Like I said, I am the Campus Life Director for high school and junior high. Our middle school group meets on Tuesdays from 7 to 8:30. Right now we've been doing Zoom stuff with both groups because that's what we're limited to right now. And then our high school group meets on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 9 o'clock down the road. Jean Pop, before she passed on, gifted us the Girl Scout house down on Taylor Street, and so we've renovated that into our high school campus life facility. But right here is where we have our campus life group. Our campus life group meets weekly. During those times, if anyone has any students interested in that, please contact me. And so we basically have a lot of fun and games, but then we sit down, especially down here, and we'll have large group discussions and we'll talk about real life issues. And then we always do a 5-minute wrap up of, hey, this is what God has to say about that. And so we do other things in our weekly meetings. We do big events throughout the community, color wars, spotlight night, all kinds of fun stuff. And then we also do retreats and we do our summer trips as well. For middle school, it is YFC camp, and for high school, it is Heat Wave. YFC camp will be in Michigan, and Heat Wave is usually at Wildwood, New Jersey. And so that's a lot of fun. We have a great time there. So that's a little bit about our Campus Life program that is run out of this space here. Over here, we kind of have a sitting area, and then we have a kitchen area. My wife runs our after school program, and so a lot of the after school stuff happens right here. We might have a cooking class or something like that. And then we also do a lot of different things in regards to life skills. So there might be a life skills class that we do during the week as well, where we'll teach them how to do mechanics or cooking or whatever it is that Erica can come up with. That's usually what they're doing. There's also an eye care group that happens on Mondays during the school year, which is where they just do different things for people in the community. And then we also do an open gym on Thursdays, and that is basically open to the middle. So everything is pretty much catered to the middle school that we do for the after school program because of our proximity to the middle school. And so the open gym time is we just open all of the doors. The gym is open, the concession stand is open, and then we also have a rec room in here that we keep open as well. That's just pretty much games, ping pong, pool tables, air hockey, carpet ball, and things like that. And so this is our rec room, and so that is also open during that time. This room is also open during our campus life times as well. And then we also started, so we have our campus life program, our after school program. We also have a fitness program. Inside this room is our fitness room. We have 3 trainers that run classes out of here for youth, even children as well here. So it's not just youth, but children as well. And so Ellie, Tracy, and Tony run a lot of the fitness classes here out of our fitness room. And so, in fact, this is one of my favorite verses right here up on the wall. It says, physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life, in the life to come. And I love that verse because it talks about how physical training is very important and is very good, but there's something even better, and that's training in godliness. And so we want to be here for the whole student, not just for the social aspect and the fun and the games, but we also want to be here for the spiritual side of things as well. And so speaking of the spiritual side of things, we're going to go into our next room. We also have a wrestling program that is based out of here as well, and that is called Wrestling with Virtue. Brian Krinslak runs that program. I'm actually wearing his shirt right now, but this is the wrestling room. We just expanded the walls here of the wrestling room so that we could add more mat space to this facility. Brian has done a tremendous job here, and one of his great, attributes to him is this idea of training people for life off the mat. As you can see, he has posted around here all the godly virtues. And so each time he takes about 15 minutes and he sits down with all of his wrestlers and he prays with them and he talks to them about, that verse that we just looked in there, that, wrestling and physical training is good, but there's something much better. And so preparing for wrestlers for life off the mat. And so he'll get a room full of students here almost every day of the week until this whole lockdown thing happened. But we're excited about the work that he's doing here and just how this program has continued to grow. And so this is the home of Wrestling with Virtue. And Brian Krinslak, again, is the man that runs the wrestling program here. And just like I stated earlier, that we want to, be there for the whole student, not just, for the social, for the fun, for the games, for the spiritual side, but another part of that is the mind as well. And so this is the home of our robotics program. The Titanium Titans run things here. And so this first room is just kind of like a lobby staging area for them. And then inside this room right here is where they do a lot of the design work of all the robots. And so you can see all of the stuff that they use. So they do all of their designing in this room. And then over here, if you follow me this way, this is where they actually build their robots. This is their workshop, and you'll see lots of tools, kind of like a factory around. They got some heavy machinery, all kinds of tools and equipment here, and this is the place where they build their robots. I really love this program because they are big. We can walk back in this way. They are big on building young people into the future entrepreneurs, the future problem solvers, the future visionaries. And so they do all of that stuff here. And I love on the front door of their room right here, they have this varsity sport for the mind. I love that because we think of varsity sports as just the sports, but man, the complexity that it takes to build these robots that they build, and they go around the country, they go down to Carnegie Mellon and compete in competitions, and so we're happy to be the home for them as well. And so that is the robotics program. So there's many different programs. Here we're walking out the side lower level door of the armory, and so that's pretty much the whole armory right there, 18,000 square feet of space that we have been able to utilize. And so one thing that is very important and that I always keep in mind and how this thing has even come to pass is there's a verse in Matthew 6:33 that says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and live righteously, and all things will be given unto you." And so we truly believe that God is looking for people who want to build his kingdom and put his kingdom first. And when we do that, he supernaturally backs us. I never would have thought that we would have been able to raise $800,000 to do everything that you just saw there, but God is good, and he supernaturally backed us. And I believe that when someone says, "Hey, I want to live righteously for you, I want to put you first," that God hears that, the cry of their heart, and he will supernaturally back you. And so he's done that here. This is a miracle in our eyes. This is a testimony to what God has done by simply putting him first. And so hope you enjoyed the tour. If you're interested in any of the programs, we will post those in this video as well. Thanks.